A group of mechanics takes their lunch beside a broken locomotive. The welder grins while a reedy girl struggles to lift his tank of gas. It slips between her hands and thuds back down onto the mud. "This is stupid," she shouts, and the mechanics howl with laughter. "She thinks she can work with us. She got to prove herself," sneers one of the men. "She wants lunch. She better prove herself," booms the welder. Wheezing, you lift the heavy tank. "Look at you," snorts the welder. "Show off." He pops the tank off your shoulder, saunters down the track. "Yeah," barks the girl. "Not your business." It's only when she follows him that you realize she shares her father's saunter. A cop stopped a truck from the nearby army base. The driver is furious. He yells, "Hey, get over here!" Shit. You approach, and he tries to give you a case of liquor. "No way!" the cop shouts. "Have your little speed limit power trip," the driver barks. "Major needs his booze now! Run this half a mile down to the base. I'll give you something nice," orders the driver. "Ridiculous," the cop blusters. You imagine someone like yourself walking into an army base with a major's box of personal booze and are inclined to agree. When you approach the base gates, 3 kids in uniform scream at you. It's not until the major himself arrives that they accept your story. "Get your hands off my grandfather's whiskey," he snaps, ripping the box from your arm. Nobody remembers to pay you. "Come on over, stranger. Share a cup." These women are enjoying a tale, passing around a bottle of brown liquor. You take a swig to wash the tang of poultry farming from your nostrils. "So I told him, you better go get those turkeys back," the heavy-set matron tells her audience. "We got some feathers, some glue, a poncho, and a fan for a tail, and we dressed up Rodney as the finest turkey man you ever saw. So he's out there strutting, trying to save his prize turkeys from going AWOL. Now who come up the road? Horace from across the way. You know what Horace said?" "What?" a farm wife calls. "He said you don't need no radio with all this fine entertainment right next door." The women howl. "Lost all them birds, except for Lola. Poor thing, she took a liking to Rodney, followed him day and night. But she had no way of making any eggs or being of much use to us. She made an annoying pet, but she made a fine casserole." Hey there. The man looks anxious. Don't suppose you saw something shiny on the ground as you walked this way? Might have caught your eye, glinted like a coin or a piece of glass? The man is devastated. I lost my girl's grandma's ring. I got her ma's blessing today. She gave me the ring to propose with and... He turns his face away, but his jagged breathing gives away his tears. He gulps down his sorrow. Sorry, I can't replace it. If I could afford to buy one, I wouldn't have accepted her mother's offer. I'll find that ring if it kills me. You walk in slowly increasing circles with his potatoes at the center, but find nothing. After a while, he calls, Can't have you wasting time. Don't worry, I'll find it. You're half a field away when something winks at you from the dirt. It's a simple gold ring with a bright solitaire diamond. Must be the engagement ring the man was looking for. Doesn't take long to retrace your steps, but the potato seller is gone, as have his sacks of spuds. When you uncurl your hand, there's nothing in it but a small, shiny coin. Bleh. Oh, God, not another. He meets your eye and shrugs. They're not mine. I'm not a shepherd, I'm a teacher, but they just keep coming. A flash of panic crosses his face. What if they never stop appearing? I'll drown in sheep. It started a day ago. I was sitting on a tree stump, musing about my job. I'm stuck where I am, can't get a promotion. Wished I'd chosen a different path. And then, bah! A sheep is munching away next to me. Yes, like that. I looked for a gap in the fence, figured they're from a farm. Nothing. And 3 more appeared while I searched. He sounds desperate. Started yesterday. Now I have 43 sheep. I can't escape. They chase me whenever I try. People will think I'm a thief. Wouldn't you ask the provenance of sheep? Wonder why a teacher had some? He looks tired. Perhaps I've lost my mind. Or this is a dream, and you're not here. I'd like to wake up. Thank God. He sits. Now please, go away. And make them go. I will lie down and wake up. He shuts his eyes. The sheep switch their attention to you. As you walk, they follow, but slide out of existence one by one with a sound like sighing.
calling empty. They're the ones who'll bury me. Well, I'm gonna cast my stones o'er the waters of this land, and by I'll see them far and long. 'Cause when the night come down for to take me hand in hand, this will be my tale, my vagrant song. This will be my tale, my vagrant song.
The graveyard's terrain is broken and warped, as though some great worm has rustled the earth beneath it. Graves jut out at odd angles from the rolling ground. From somewhere deep among the graves, a voice rings out. You can't make out the words. They're made of unfamiliar vowels and clipped sounds, a language you don't speak. The voice is clear and sonorous, feminine. It sounds like a chant or a summons. You finally see her at the top of a hillock, next to a fresh grave. Her straight figure makes her seem like an antique pillar, standing with her shoes in grave dirt, clad in an austere dress that seems too much like a suit of armor. Her eyes are blocked out by a dark velvet blindfold, and the cross before her is adorned with curious serpentine horns. Blindfolded and deafened by her song, she doesn't notice as you approach, close enough to see the detail of her face. Younger than her dress suggests. When a gust of unnatural wind blows through the cemetery, she doesn't move. But something inside you shakes. Her recitation comes to an end. A rustling surrounds you. Fireflies in the air, winking out and falling to the ground en masse. The grass turns brown beneath your feet. A bird impacts the ground near you like a missile, Something clenches inside you. It's as if your throat has blocked up, as if your lungs have lost the strength to hold air, as if your heart is forgetting how to pump. She kneels, dirtying her dress to plant one soft, longing kiss on the dirt covering the new grave. He's sitting by the side of the road on a rough wooden box, one side of it covered in hefty brass latches. "Hey, friend, you want to buy The box buckles underneath him. "A dog?" There are no air holes on the box, but an acrid chemical smell wafts from it all the same. "Listen, I'll give it to you for free." He's sweating a little. Something dark and ichorous oozes through the cracks in the box. "Just take it. He's a really good boy. He's just not—" The box almost throws him off with a sudden jostle. "He's just not house-trained is all." "You won't regret it," he says, already leaping off the box. You're very slightly relieved to see it has a carry handle on it. In the moment it takes you to get a hold of the box, the man is gone, blowing a cloud of road dust behind him as he hurries away. It seems tailor-made to hold whatever's inside it. You give it a gentle tap, and it responds with a violent shake. Fat droplets of glistening black ichor leak from the seam between the lid and the box. You quickly decide against it and leave the box by the side of the road. You can only hear the loud thump, thump, thumping of whatever's inside trying to escape, banging futilely against its latched cage as you hurriedly walk away. They move through the streets like a wave of raucous, joyful noise, with their eyes wandering wildly. You get the sense that those particular children, all dressed in uniform winter coats, don't get out much. You wave a friendly greeting at the group, and soon they surround you.
You have any candy?
Asks a frog-headed moppet.
Have you traveled far?
Inquires a patchwork cloth girl.
Now be polite. Leave the traveler alone.
The teacher's voice is gentle but firm. You get the sense that she's more like her pupils than she lets on. You don't have any candy, but you do have stories from the road. You find a rapt audience in this pack of strange beasts. When the teacher finally tugs them along, you know your legend must have grown several sizes. You find her at a crossroads in the dark, lit by a tiny brazier turning something fragrant and smoky. All around are the dried stems and petals of a dozen strange plants.
You!
Her voice is powerful, belying her size.
You seem like you could do with powerful magic. For you, no charge. We have a friend in common.
She taps her nose knowingly.
You've the look about you of someone who desperately wants something. Just tell me. Endless wealth? Undying love? How practical. How clever.
She sprinkles powder and grains onto the burning coals, filling the smoke with strange and acrid smells. Soon you're coughing forcefully, feeling something coming up from deep in your throat. Her eyes, red like coals, stare right into yours as you spit it out. At first you think it's blood, but no. The copper you taste is a single, lonely penny.
How curious. The magic won't cling to you. It slides off your shade like water off a duck.
Did she always know this would happen?
Off with you. Your only wealth is in tales. Your only riches are verses.
Her laugh is too sharp, bird-like, and with a flick of the wrist, she snuffs out her brazier. The wind nearly tears the farmhouse door off its frame. Somebody left this place quick. Didn't take much with them. Dense books, tin kitchenware, broken ceramic, all scattered like a tornado hit. Just out front, an iron pot hangs over a stamped-out campfire. Under the lid, game and potatoes in a congealed broth. Leftovers, but plenty for one, and no older than a day or two.
The meal is mush and salt. Something catches in your teeth. A single strand of hair, bristly, black. You climb onto a cotton mattress loaded down with warm quilts, elevated by a wood bed frame. Luxuries. As you drift off, the wind pulls the door open. The sharp, drawn-out creak, creak, creak forces you wide awake. A faint sound. Some wild animal? Just the wind? A voice? The same sound, repeated. A word. Talipo. Talipo. The open door frames the partial silhouette of a ragged creature. Inside your head, somebody else's words ring out in your own voice. Talipo, Talipo, who has my Talipo? Some heaviness presses down upon your chest. In front of you, 2 green orbs, followed by a smell foul as the grave.
Yes, you have.
You wake up in a pile of debris. Wood boards, roof tiles, broken furniture. Whole farmhouse must have come down. Long scratches cover your arms and legs, still red and raw. A woman in a feather boa leads you through a series of exhibits. Monkey heads sewn onto a fish. Rubber fetuses jarred in formaldehyde. A headless chicken corpse.
Lived without her head for months, but she never heard the car,
she says in a sad tone.
You have fine taste, I can tell. No, not offended. Follow me.
She takes you past curtains into a small tent with no signs or ticket podium. Centered in the room, a veiled bird cage, domed and made of brass. Your host invites you forward. Inside the cage, a vampire bat hangs from a wooden perch. It squeaks at you. Then its other head, a little slower, also squeaks.
Meet my beautiful baby boys, Laurel and Hardy.
With introductions over, Laurel goes back to sleep. Or maybe that was Hardy. Whichever one is still awake watches you with beady eyes. The curator curls her knuckles in anticipation.
Go on then. Don't be shy. Give him a little scratch through the bars.
Laurel and Hardy certainly share a fuzzy belly. They both squeak in appreciation of your affection. The curator beams.
I'm so proud. My big boys can drain a whole herd of cattle twice as quick.